one of the things, we've kind of got the logistics down a little bit. That's why I wanted to talk to Mayor about that. But just in the enforcement of a curfew, how is it difficult? I know there's some concern that we've heard from viewers and from people in the community that it could be difficult to enforce. How do you enforce it? That kind of thing. So, what's your answer to that?
Well, it's going to take a lot of training, certainly, and part of what we're going to have to do is train the citizens, and the Board of Education has agreed to assist with that. And we're going to have to train our police officers on what, the conditions of the curfew truly are, how to determine whether someone's in violation of a curfew, what to do when you find somebody that's in violation of a curfew, because, it's really not about punishing people, it's about changing people's behavior. If you got a 12 or 13-year-old out in the street at 2 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday night, then we want to change that behavior. So we're going to try to help the parents, give them programs, services, telephone numbers, whatever we can do to try to get that child to change the behavior.
And I imagine that some of the concerns might be that police would just be stopping groups of kids on the street and asking for IDs, but that doesn't sound like that's what's going to happen, or will it? I don't know.
No, we really don't have any plans on putting out any kind of special details or anything like that. It's I've characterized it as another tool in the toolbox. Certainly we want to, if we believe that there are young children that young out in the street at the time, in danger. I mean, they could be in danger. Never mind, causing crime. They could be a victim of crime as well. So we have a responsibility to the children, to the parents, to society, to make sure that these kids are off the street. But certainly we have no intention of going out with any kind of squads and enforcing curfews.
Right. But there are fines. Just there would be fines if this passes, right? And would that be the fine be levied on the parents? Is that right?
Exactly. The first is a warning, and along with that warning is going to come some literature, and maybe some counseling from the officer as to maybe what can be done. Try to get to the root cause of the issue. Why is this child out, at 2 o'clock in the morning? So it's not just about fining people, and we're hoping that we can convince the prosecutor that in lieu of a fine, maybe if a parent participates in a program successfully, that maybe we could waive that fine in lieu of the successful participation in a program. Things like that. We're just trying to be creative. We're not trying to penalize people. We're just trying to change the behavior.
Right.
Well, we're hopeful that we can give the police a tool to make sure that vulnerable younger people are out of harm's way or potentially dangerous situations, and it gives the police another tool. It's going to the council. I fully expect that it'll pass, and we're hoping that it withstands challenges that we hear may be coming.
Right, the ACLU, I'm assuming that's what you mean, right? They've made it known that they plan on challenging it, but why is this so important, I guess, in the wake of obviously Justin Thompson and some of the other crimes that have happened this year?
We think this gives the police a tool that is a wise tool, used judiciously. It will help them to keep younger children out of potentially harmful situations. We're just trying to protect the youth, and we think that the courts will support this because it's been very well thought out, very well crafted, and I don't think that it should be overturned.
And I'm trying to think if there's anything else here. The vote would be in August, correct?
Yes.
The full council.
We're hopeful that it'll get passed at the August committee of the City Council.
Okay.
A lot of the naysayers say a lot of shootings have happened in broad daylight, 12 noon, kids coming home from school. Obviously, that's not going to do anything to protect, but how does that help the police in that regard?
Well, obviously there's always going to be problems in any society, but I think that this gives a reasonable tool to be used judiciously by the police department to keep younger children out of harm's way. We can't protect everyone from every possible eventuality, but we have to do the reasonable and judicious thing, which I think a curfew will do.
Would this just override the one, essentially, that's on the books right now? It would just kind of blanket over top of that one?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I understood.
But, the important thing to remember is we've worked with the lawyers, we've worked with the police department, we've worked with the political leadership, and we've come up with something we think that'll help keep the youth safer.
You talked about